Bonjour everybody! We saw that recent insanely racist ad for washing detergent and oh my gosh, here is what we have to say. It starts now.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello everybody!
Welcome to another episode of the No Name Podcast, the number one podcast going out across the airwaves where we bring you stories of black excellence and righteous ratchetry from across the black diaspora. I'm Mr. Bizu, and to my left is...
It's Lady Sasha. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, it's been pretty boring over here in Beijing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
without me.
yes, it's been a cold gray existence without you. We're happy to have your sunny voice back for this big talk.
Thank you.
Well, before we get into it, let me give you some announcements. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Wechat at bizunsasha, BIZUNSASHA. And if you follow us on Wechat, you get access to our Wechat group where you get to talk to all kinds of people from all over the world, and you get the latest updates and announcements from the show. And you can also follow us on YouTube and SoundCloud and listen to our older shows there. All right. And I think that's it.
Well, let's come up with that ad.
What ad?
We're not even doing any shortcut right now.
What ad? What are you talking about?
You know that ad?
I've never
but
seen
you
this.
know, the detergent one.
Oh, that incredibly, horribly racist ad?
Yeah.
That has taken the world by storm?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
The one who's making a buzz.
Quite a bit of buzz.
Showing that our black are dirty.
And apparently we like to paint. I don't know if anybody caught that, but apparently the commercial brought up a little known fact about black people is that we love to paint.
Well, me, I didn't
he had
take
the
it
white
this
paint
way.
On his.
I didn't take it this way. I took the way I interpreted the paint on his like black dude face. I interpreted it more like he's a worker. He's a worker, so he's like he's been working, so he's dirty.
Yeah.
You know. So I didn't take it as like.
He's an artist.
I didn't take it like this.
You didn't think that he was working on his masterpiece?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't working on that? Yeah, man. This ad.
It was terrible.
This fucking ad, man.
It was horrible.
I don't know how this came about. I don't know what was the thought process behind it or the lack thereof. But yeah, man. That was not the way to go. I'm hoping somebody got fired behind it.
Well, for any advertisement, usually you have like that creative team thinking and brainstorming about, okay, what is going to be the main message on that ad? And now I'm realizing that how come this ad can come up this way? If they did brainstorm, I wonder what was the message. The message was clearly like, okay, we need to show how clean the clothes can be.
Yeah, like how powerful our detergent is.
Okay, so to show this, we need to show how like clean, how dirty, or something dirty can become like really clean. And that's something I feel like they
decided to use a Negro to make their point.
And this is sad.
It's very sad. The group is, not the group, the company's name is Qiaobi, right? Qiaobi, yeah. And
or maybe Shabby.
Or Shabby, yes. Because they think it was pretty shabby with this one. But apparently the ad was up like on March 31st.
Yeah,
it had been up for a while.
And people even tell me, I just learned that it's being already it was being already on movie theaters.
Yeah, it was shown in theaters.
Yeah. And everything is just like somebody with the big following being retweeting this. And now that's how the buzz came out.
Yeah. But I don't know how it flew under the radar for so long, because you're looking at what, 2 months? And it was kind of able to just
that's
cook.
a long time.
But once the right people saw it or the wrong people saw it, that got exposed quick. That got exposed very, very quickly, man. I just know, here in Beijing, I remember seeing it and I was like, what the fuck is this? And a lot of people just started sharing it and, talking about it. And they're like, well, we can't believe this is so racist. And then people started sharing it on Facebook. People started tweeting it to each other. And now other people use WeChat, like in other places around the world. So they were just able to send it to them, personally. And one thing led to another, man. And next thing you know, you start seeing it on the BBC. You start seeing it on CNN. You start seeing it on the Global Times. CCTV had to, say something about it. It really caught a lot of attention. Relatively quickly. At least from when I was exposed to about it, because this was I might have seen it on like Wednesday, like Tuesday or Wednesday, and now here it is, Sunday night or Monday by the time you guys listen to this, but that's not that long.
I think it depends on which media is being which media fund this. And the Chinese part now was saying that is being
exaggerated and
by the media, by the Western media. What's happening is I think it was such a great news for certain media, because they're like, okay, it's a great timing. China actually this year is celebrating the 60th anniversary with Egypt, but they're calling it the Sino-African anniversary.
Oh, really?
And now they're doing so much on the African continent, but meanwhile, in parallel, they have those kind of advertisement.
That is very awkward.
This is weird.
Yeah.
So now, because the Western part, they're losing the influence on the continent, but they're seeing those kind of information. So for them, they were like, ha!
I can only imagine how it is in Guangzhou, man. Guangzhou, they have one of the largest largest African migrant communities in the world.
Yeah, but the thing is, in Guangzhou is a lot of things happening in Guangzhou. A lot of people protesting. There's police brutality happening, and it's been a long time. It's happening, and there's even in the capital Beijing, we let's be honest, we already met some discrimination, when we're looking for a job for some student here, for when you do casting for certain movies and everything. There's a lot of things happening, but usually it's just staying close, it's staying to China. The West, other countries, they don't know what's happening inside. They don't know. But now with social media, everything
you can't ignore it. And that's the thing. And I think that's what's good about this video getting out, or this video. I think that's what's good about this ad getting out. A lot of people were kind of upset. Black people were upset that this ad came out, because they're like, we're always portraying the negative of, things that happen to our community. We always are made out to be victims of something. But I think this is good, because it raises the dialogue. It talks about how Black people are treated in China. You know what I mean? And like you were saying, Black people do get treated, Black people do get discriminated against here in China. This is a fact. Whether it's for teaching positions, whether it's for acting positions, any kind of job in schools and things like that. The discrimination does happen. It does happen here.
The thing is, those topics sometimes I'm just oh my gosh, because discrimination happen everywhere. It happened in France. It happened in the United States. It happened in Italy.
What? So, discrimination in the state? No.
Yes. So that happened everywhere, and that doesn't only happen in China. The only thing was different is like in those other countries when somebody's been caught being racist, the majority of the people are like, yeah, that was racist. Or you will have like a minority, like you will have like two part, the people trying to defend and the other people. But like most of the time, you can say that person is racist. Yes. And that's a fact. Like, it can be writing like black on white people, like people are okay. But here in China, it's quite different because every time you're trying to say that everybody is racist or some person are racist, what's happening? They're going to tell you like, no, it can't be possible because in China is ignorance. Racism doesn't exist. Racism is a notion coming from the West. In China, like this is a monoculture. So racism cannot exist. They don't know what it is, but it's always the same topic coming back. So it's always like stuff happened, but we have to put that in the count of ignorance.
And see, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that idea at all. The fact that it's that all people are, this is a homogenous society and, you know, it's not racist, it's ignorance and things like that. Because even if that was true, that doesn't make it an excuse. You know what I'm saying? That's still not an excuse. If I steal something and the police come after me, I can't go, oh, well, I didn't know I couldn't steal this. Like, I didn't know it was wrong to take this. Like, they still gonna send me to jail. Like, that's not an excuse. And secondly, they've had these kinds of things happen before. For instance, there's a brand of toothpaste out right now called Darlie toothpaste.
Darky.
Ah, see, you know what's up. One. Yes, exactly. The reason why it's called Darlie now, because it used to be Darky. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They had a black dude on there, and his teeth, you know, he was smiling, you know, had the watermelon grin. And, you know, the whole thing was, hey, man, brush your teeth so you can get your, brush your teeth with our toothpaste so you can, you know, get your smile as bright as this nigga right here. And that was the message behind it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so when people saw that, they're like, yo, this is racist as fuck. What are you doing? They're like, okay, well, we'll just change it to L. Like, that would fix it. I mean, it wouldn't, but, you know, whatever. But they've had these kinds of things happen before. You know, these instances of racism have occurred in China. And
yeah, but you call it racism. You are calling it, but for them, they're not calling it racism. For them is ignorance. They don't even know, they don't even conscious, like they don't even aware that is something bad. So for them, they try to explain you that it is not racism. It is like they don't know. They've been living for a long time by themselves. Mm-hmm. And so now they have to deal with other minorities and they have to deal with black people and they don't know what to say and what to not say.
Well, even like I said before, that's not entirely true. Mm-hmm. Because the big thing that's going on right now is the whole Belt and Road Initiative. And they're talking about how they want this to be a kind of like a reawakening of the Silk Road. But last I checked, the Silk Road extended all the way into the Middle East and into Africa. So historically, China has always known about other peoples. It's not like they've been living in a hole somewhere and just developed completely on their own. They've always been exposed to outside people. You know, China's also had a system, it was called the tributary system, where people from other countries and other cultures would be brought into the empire to live and to work and to do things like that. Now they always saw it as them civilizing the barbarians, but there was always exposure to outside cultures and outside peoples. So they're not, historically, they've never been as cut off as they try to make themselves out to be. And once again, about the homogenous culture thing, there's how many? There's 56 different ethnic groups.
Oh, yeah, in China.
In China. Ain't shit homogenous about that. Like, 56 of these motherfuckers. Now, keep in mind, it might not... I think the problem is when people think of racism, they think of, like, the Ku Klux Klan or the Nazis or, you know, people running around, you know, hanging people and, you know, beating people up in the street and stuff like that. And, you know, those are the extreme forms of it. But racism, all you need to be racist is to believe that your race is superior to everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens here. You know, and that's what allows the other 55 ethnic groups to be marginalized to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? They might not be getting beat in the street. They might not be getting shot in the back like how other minority groups are in other countries. But the marginalization is still there. Thanks for checking out another episode of the No Name Podcast, or NNP. We value our platform and are working to bring you the best show possible. Now you can help make that happen. If you like what you've heard or have an idea to make it better, feel free to follow us on Wechat, Twitter, and Instagram at bizunsasha, BIZUNSASHA, and tell us what you think. Or you can send us an email at nonamepodcast123@gmail.com. NNP, many voices, one sound. Peace. And even if you were to throw all of that out the window, when China opened up to the world, that was like in the 70s, where they sent people out. You understand what I'm saying? Like they sent people out to, you know, to study at universities around the world, to work in companies around the world, and then they came back here. You know what I'm saying? So this ad, it's not like it was done in like a farm somewhere.
This ad?
Yeah,
of course.
Like, and this was probably done in a city.
And I'm realizing that to do that kind of ad, they had to do a lot of research because they actually copy that Italian ad. They copy, and to copy something, it means like they didn't think by themselves. It means like they have to do research to, okay, for a detergent, let's see what the other countries done. So they've been looking for it, and they've been saying like, okay, this one we want to put, like they had to talk about it, so it didn't come from nowhere. And I think they took it and they kind of appropriated like for themselves their vision of what is white, like what is clean on their eyes, and they're like, okay, let's put a Chinese guy. You know, so I feel like they've been thinking about this. Like they had plenty of time to think about that ad. Like, so there's no excuse right now. That was really bad. They actually gave their excuses. They apologized, but the apologize was like half apologize because they're saying that they're very sorry for all the African descent and everything, blah blah blah. But at the same time, they're thinking that it took too much, like it make too much noise, and that they think this is because of the Western media. So they basically are accusing the Western media of creating that kind of image of them. Yeah,
that's a good point. And you know what? They might be right. You know, they're probably right. I'm pretty sure because they're superpowers, you know, and superpowers are always looking for ways to, you know, to try to one up each other and everything. And that might be valid, but that still doesn't excuse what you did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that still wouldn't change anything, you know, and at the end of the day, this is a reality of being black here in China. You know, that's something that exists. That's a problem that exists here. And it's not even about being black, just being dark skinned. You know, the whole idea of you're okay as long as you're white, or you're okay as long as you have pale skin, is, you know, kind of one of the, you know, foundations of this of, you know, allowing shit like this to happen.
But some people will tell you that on their mind they were not thinking like this before, but then when they've been colonized, I don't know if I can say they're not being colonized, but like when Christian missionaries came,
and the Europeans, remember, Europeans came through, and you know, it happened. It happened, man.
So they're going to tell you that it's because of this when the Europeans came, and they kind of told them that whiter you are and more grace you are, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You can be a good Christian if you're white.
This is true.
So now, kind of, I feel like we are facing a population who's going to tell you that they've been brainwashed also. So they don't even see where is the problem anymore now.
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, it cannot happen. When you've been suffering and going through all that history, and to forget where you're from, to actually dealing with like people of color like this, but like a few years ago, you were one of them.
Like the 90s.
Like
90s and 80s.
You were one of them.
Yeah.
And actually Asian people that I know, like they wanted black people to represent them. To fight for their rights.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now, okay, they started from the bottom. Now they are superpower.
Yeah.
And now you see how things turn.
They don't forget where they came from. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
This is just, I think this is disappointing, but at the same time, I feel like us as black people, we should expect. We should expect this. I think we should expect it and stop, you know, stop having the same talk and stop like acting like also the victim and thinking, because we know a lot of people been crying, oh yeah, the Chinese are racist, but just a few thought about the guy. Why the fuck you accept to do that kind of ad?
This is also on him.
So like now it's cool to play the victim, but at the moment we at a certain level, we need to be like, okay, what we should do and not do for like our own communication, own like.
Well, some people, according to what some people are saying, they're like the guy, the black guy who was in the commercial, he didn't know what was happening. Like he didn't know what was going on. He said because a bunch of his like text messages hit the WeChat groups. So
the text messages of who? Of the guy?
Of the guy, yeah. Like he talked to I think he sent them back to his agent.
Because he has an agent?
I don't know. The agent, I don't know.
No, that's not a good source. Like I need the source.
Apparently, allegedly, that's the word. Allegedly, what happened was he was like he did the commercial, and then or he did his part for the commercial, and then he saw the final version, and then he tried to give the money back to the agent for however they paid him, and he was like, I need it taken down because this doesn't look good. Now fun fact, 200 kwai.
He got paid 200 kwai?
200 kwai. That's what it says in these WeChat streets. All right, the WeChat streets says that he only got 200 kwai to embarrass the people.
Well, I feel like
integrity's pretty cheap these days.
No, I feel like this is somebody we should also find and talk to him, because
now when you say find, do you mean like find like we need to go see him, or
no, but we should talk, because like you say some people been saying that he didn't know what's happening. I don't know. Me, if somebody threw me away in a washing machine,
yeah,
this is weird.
Yeah, like where the fuck you think it's gonna go?
This is weird. I'm sorry. From that, like I don't even.
You have paint on your face. The girl grabbed, like, because she grabbed his head and dumped him in the washing machine.
I don't even need
where the fuck
to
you think he was going?
The rest of the script.
Yeah.
I know what it is about.
Yeah. Are you going to the bat cave or some shit?
This is common sense. Okay, it can happen. Some people have common sense and some not. Like, they don't feel like this is a trap and everything. But it's hard to believe. It's really, really hard to believe. That, and I feel we all have a responsibility. And when you in a foreign country, you in the middle of people, like they all looking at you a certain way, you gotta represent. You gotta represent. You cannot do things like this.
And to be honest, it's unfortunate because it shouldn't be. To be honest, the thing that really is messed up about this is that it shouldn't have to be our responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a white person doesn't feel like they have to represent all of whiteness wherever they go 24/7. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a white person can go to their job and be like, you know what, fuck this job. Like, flip their desk over, throw up on the boss's desk, and like walk out. And they're not going thinking, damn, man, what if they don't hire another white guy? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like as black people, because of the stereotypes that are always put against us, we always have this thought, at least once. You know what I'm saying? Some might think of this idea more than others, but at least once we have this idea that, damn, man, they don't see me. They see blackness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you always got to represent that. And it's not fair. At the end of the day, it's not fair. But that is the unfortunate reality of the world. You're listening to another episode of the No Name Podcast, or NNP. NNP is a show that aims to bring the world's black diaspora to the forefront and highlights their unique lifestyles while connecting their common cultures. The perspectives of the diaspora are valuable, and no one can tell our stories better than us. So thanks for hearing ours. We appreciate your support and encourage you to share. NNP, many voices, one sound. Peace.
It made me think about Jaden Smith when he was wearing that dress.
Yes.
And he didn't give a damn fuck about it. And everybody was shocked. Was like, yeah, but look, they're going to look like black people, like the old day and everything. So now it's the same. But if we want those problem, like if we want to go forward, and we need. I know we will never stop with racism. Racism is a global issue.
Because we always want to separate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'll never end. If we were all the same color, it would be eye color or some shit. You know what I mean?
It will never end. At the end of the day. So, but you kind of want progress, and to have progress, you need to show to the people that what is wrong, what is not, what is right, what is wrong. So now I think Chinese have to be more aware of the unknown racism.
Yes.
All right, they have to be aware that they do have sometimes some people have like racism like behavior, but they put that on their ignorance box. It is not ignorance.
At least
it's like they have they scared of the foreigners, like they have that xenophobia in them.
At least not in big cities. You know, your Beijings, your Shanghais, your Guangzhous and Hong Kongs and Wuhans and all that, like places where there are large groups of foreigners, like big expat communities. Like, this isn't it's not an excuse anymore. Not now. You know, so I don't know. Yeah, something's got to change. I get that. Yeah, 1.5 billion people, or it's gonna take a long time for them to do anything, but you got to start somewhere.
But it will change. It will just take time. It will change, but the way the transition happened in the West, it will not happen the same way in China.
You think so?
You cannot juxtapose like these two different culture.
This is true.
Two different way of doing. For business purpose, they might change really quickly. On the surface.
Yeah.
But
peek under that curtain, man.
But but I think they will do. I think really, if they really like, they've seen that with that ad that it was like a major problem. So they're working massively on the communication. They have TV station now broadcasting abroad. So now they're investing a lot on the communication. So for them now, they want to show that they are good people. They are like superpower. They are blah, blah, blah. So for that, I know they will do the effort.
And that's the thing. You can't, and you do bring up a good point about that, because you don't want to be the kind of person that's always yelling. And then when you see them try to make changes, you don't acknowledge the change. Now, will this be like just some superficial shit, be like, oh, we'll just say this just to get you guys to shut up, or some actual change will come of it? Who knows? But like you said, they are investing a lot of money into trying to be at least to be seen better.
Yeah. But really, the real topic is like racism. And imagine, like, you see in the West, for example, in the US, white people for a long time after the civil rights and everything, they've been seeing like they invest a lot, and white and black people, they were living together, and there were like no major problem. So everything's been made progressively.
Yes, it's been slow progress.
So it was slow progress, but now you're realizing in 2016 that everything, all those progress, all of a sudden, they just like, it's like we're going backward.
We got Donald Trump as
we have Donald Trump, the KKK still there. Like, there's a lot of things was like, are we really in 2016? So now I'm thinking, okay, let's take this example. Let's take the example even in the Middle East or something, Israel. Like, for example, those places where black people, it was not a problem before for black people to go there. But now they're paying them to go back to their countries. So now, like, you have this, and now you have China, who's, because of the economy, like because of the economy now, they have to work end to end with Africa. But then let's see, okay, let's some years after, do they going to do like the US? They've been going to have police brutality and be killing like black people in the street when they're already taking over the continent.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
So I think we should wake up and instead of talking too much about that ad. It's not that I don't like the ad or anything, but I feel like the ad is not the problem. The ad was just it was just like a wake up call maybe for certain people. But the ad is not the problem. The problem is us not like waking up, not being awake of what's really happening in the world right now.
I think people are acutely aware. I think people are aware. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I think because of social media and the internet, we now see just how big these problems are. You know what I'm saying? Like before, we were kind of cut off and isolated from each other to a certain extent.
We didn't know
we didn't
that
really know
what they were doing, how they were treating black people in Brazil, for example.
Exactly.
We didn't know that. Now we know because the Olympics is coming and black people taking that opportunity, like the ad in China,
or the Olympics.
To talk.
I can go on Periscope right now and go to some random person in Sao Paulo and look to see what's going on the streets of Sao Paulo. Like, I could do that today. You know, like, we're so much more connected and we have access to so much more information than we've ever had before. So now we're seeing just how widespread this racist bullshit is. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting harder to hide this stuff. You know, but it's like you were saying, something we as a people do need to do something about it, because ignorance is not an excuse for anybody anymore.
Well, me, I'm a really peaceful person. And I've always been a peaceful person, and think that maybe some problem can be resolved with peace, like with peaceful behavior. But when it comes to racism, I
have to slap them all. Is that what?
No, I'm realizing that the whole peaceful thing, when you realize, you can see in the United States with the Martin Luther King, it was really peaceful, and that peace didn't bring him nowhere. I'm not saying that we don't
still
remember.
Whipped his ass.
We still remember him and everything, but I don't know if his approach was the right one.
It was right for the time, but we're in a different time now. It's like you can't do the same things that worked before because the situations are different. You know?
It's true. This is true.
Who said it? Some wise motherfucker back in the day. You know, but the idea is you can't use old tactics to fix new problems. You know, you can't do that. So, you know, what worked for Martin Luther King probably ain't gonna work for us.
Well, we're in China. And because we're in China, I think we should use Chinese tactic. And the oldest one is the art of war, which is which is a really
I just want to be clear.
It is the wine.
To the government, to be clear to the government people that are listening right now, that I think China's great. I have no problem.
I didn't sound.
In fact,
oh my god,
I don't even know where I am right now. This is not. I've been kidnapped.
Anyway, I think that's a good book to read, especially for Africans.
So yeah, man, that is a good book, and black people should read, or any book on strategy, really, because like we've been saying, man, ignorance is not an excuse for anybody, whether it's the Chinese, whether it's black people on the continent, or black people in the diaspora. And the best way to to confront racism, or to try to fight against it, is to bring it up when you see it. Having the attitude of, oh, well, that's just how they are, they're never going to change, like, that won't change anything. If you know somebody who's says some problematic shit, call them out for it. If they have a problem with you saying that, then they probably weren't your friend to begin with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, basically.
But the only way stuff like this gets resolved is if it's acknowledged, and if we talk about it, and if we bring it up. That is us doing something. And it's not going to be one big sweeping gesture. There's not going to be a day where everybody's going to be like, oh man, you know what, black people is all right. That's just not going to happen. But it's a process. It's a slow step-by-step process. But you can do something by calling it out whenever you see it.
Also, I think we can do something by calling it out, but also by have a dialogue with the Chinese, because I feel like when we talk about racism, there's always the black people talking between them. Yeah. And you have a part of white people understanding our cause, and you have a part of white people saying that, oh, they always see racism everywhere, or
Exactly.
you know, those kind of white people, and then you got the rest. And I think we have to, I'm not saying we teach them, you have to educate people, but we should do like some kind of like have talks and dialogue with everybody, not only between us like black people, and try to like explain them where we from, our perception. Yes. Even if they will never be able to be in our shoes, but like to be able to share our perspective. I think it's really important to be able to share with like other people, other culture, and for them to understand where we're coming from and what we think.
Exactly. Well, with that, I think we're gonna wrap things up. That was it. That was quite a bit. You know what I mean?
A lot to say. Yeah, I think we didn't even talk about everything because it's night and
getting to the meat of what this is, just scratching the surface. But I'm pretty sure this will be talked about and brought up for a while, and people will talk about it and discuss it and so on and so forth.
But if you guys got other feedback and you want to add something into the conversation, let us know.
Yes, absolutely. Send us an email at nonamepodcast123@gmail.com. And if you guys have any stories of any stories that you guys want to share about your time in China or your time abroad, feel free to let us know, man. Feel free to let us know, and we'll be happy to read them on air or not read them on air. We can, however you want to do it. Yeah, man. So just feel free to give us any feedback, and if you just want to talk and share your story, feel free to do that as well. And with that, I think we're going to officially wrap things up.
Yeah.
It's been another amazing episode of the No Name Podcast. Feel free to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and WeChat at bizunsasha, bizunsasha. And check out our older shows on YouTube and SoundCloud.
That was Lady Sasha.
And that was Mr. Bizu. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Bye.